For more on this story, we're now joined by Northern Cape DA leader Harold McGluwa, and he joins us via our video link. Harold, thank you so much for joining us this evening here on SABC News. Of course, we saw major criticism coming out from the Northern Cape when it comes to the construction of those 540 flushing toilets for the Campbell community. As the DA, what is your position? Do you also share the same criticism as many South Africans do?
Yeah, thank you very much, and also good evening to your listeners. I think this announcement by the Premier yesterday actually came to a surprise, even to an extent that the Premier broadcast it on social media, and on top of that have a celebration on this. It's a total disgrace and a total shame after the Premier in his inauguration speech in 2019 5 years ago, informed the citizens of the province that the bucket system will be something of the past.
Yeah.
Now, as many of the residents explained there, that, the bucket system and the VIPs poses a serious health hazard to communities. It's about mosquitoes, it's the files of bees and a company of the stench in the heat of the Northern Cape, which is unbearable. The Premier had the opportunity in the provincial legislature also to announce it, but there's more to it. There's a number of issues that we have to deal with. If we look at what happened at the census 2022, that the Northern Cape has the highest number of households using bucket systems, and the primary toilet facilities in the province of the households is living in this type of a shame. We have also noticed that last year with the country's worldwide toilet celebration, I think this is what the Premier has celebrated in the Northern Cape. The Department of Water and Sanitation rather hand out toilets and toilet rolls and toilet brushes to residents who don't have toilet, instead focusing on using allocated funds to eradicate the bucket system. But when we look at what the Auditor General in the Office of the Parliament last year has also alluded to the fact that water and sanitation again failed to meet the target of eradicating the bucket system and the allocated amount. There was an amount of 292 million for the eradication of the bucket toilets in the Northern Cape and the Free State, and only 49 million of that budget was spent.
Yeah. And coming to the actual toilets, so we understand that this is going to cost the municipality 120 million rand, and this will be for 540 toilets that will be built for the community of Campbell. Of course, some are even calculating this to have cost the likes of Alta, saying that each toilet will at least cost 222,000 rand to build in the Northern Cape. This is just ridiculous if one looks at it in that way. And one can say that you cannot justify spending over 200,000 rand on just building one toilet.
Yeah, no, indeed. I think it is just really uncalled for to service 540 households. Aside from that, from the poor financial and project management in relation to the bucket system in the Northern Cape, government also has a dark cloud hanging over their head in respect to questionable tenders previously awarded. Now, the exclusive bucket eradication, when we look at it, dating back to a full decade, that has remained a hamstring for the fraudulent maladministration of million rands of contract. We have seen in 2016, in the Northern Cape, Zenza Group, that is also called the Blue Nightingale, got a bucket eradication tender of 119 million rand in the ZFM Mukau district and Pixikasemi district. Now, this 120 million rand is only allocated to the Sianuma municipality to supply this eradication of the bucket system. Now, the 121 million that is allocated now doesn't justify the outstanding amount of money that is already paid what is really dodgy about this matter and really concerned is that the full amount has already been paid to Siyazenza for the Northern Cape contract. The very same company got a contract in the Eastern Cape, and the MSIA would hold payments because the contract that was allocated to Siyazenza, the tax clearance certificate has expired.
Yeah.
And we have also noticed that there is a lot of corruption and fraud and maladministration in terms of this.
And going back to that 120 million rand that you say has already been paid out, surely, as you are saying, that there's a high rate of households in the Northern Cape using the bucket toilet system, more people can actually benefit from this contract, which has already been released by the Northern Cape government.
Yes, indeed, because there is, with the Siyazenza contract that was allocated, they have found that the clearance certificate has expired, and the MISA was already in a deficit of 185 million rand out of pocket when they found out that the certificate provided by Siyazenza was indeed fraudulent. Now, when we look at the DORA that was allocated in the financial year of 2016 to 2017, there was a 21 million rand allocated to the David Krapen municipality, also to eradicate the bucket system. Nothing has happened from that. But now we want to eradicate 540 units for 120 million. That is uncalled for. And we need to understand from the Premier, where is this money coming from? How are we going to address this? Whose households will be serviced in terms of this?
And Mr. McGluwa, when it comes to what you will be doing in the Northern Cape province to hold the Northern Cape government accountable, what steps will you be taking to ensure that South Africans are actually given a glimpse of the breakdown of the cost of this tender and actually how much will be spent on each toilet that will be built for this community?
Yeah, indeed, we cannot just accept it. At all the funds allocated for this, we would like to see that the bucket system is eradicated. But we are effectively seeing in this region of 220 million that money that is allocated to eradicate the bucket system. We have many questions concerning this. We want to know what happened in the past with the funding allocated to eradicate the bucket toilets, which initially should have been eradicated. We also want to know what infrastructure is available to Campbell in respect of the target 540 toilets, and exactly where these toilets are allocated and who and whom will be gaining from this, and does it belong to someone?
Yeah.
I think what we will also do is, because we are really concerned of the inability of the departments and the municipalities to properly spend allocated funds to eradicate the bucket toilets, as well as with the pit latrines in the Northern Cape, which is still unfulfilled based on the irregular spending and possible corruption of the departments.
All right, then, Mr. McGluwa, thank you so much for that insight and for those, when it comes to what indeed you will be doing in the Northern Cape to seek the necessary answers from that tender which we saw from the Northern Cape government to eradicate pit latrines in that area. And of course, that is Harold McGluwa. He is the DA Northern Cape leader.